Join me to watch the first inside of Into the Light that's supposed to be coming out next month. Now, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be free to play for anyone that does not have the game DLCs, and there's supposed to be a bunch of new content getting us ready for the final shape. Nice music as always. I'm excited. Is it starting? Oh, it's starting! Into the light! Let's go! Yes!
All right, hello everyone and welcome here to beautiful Bungie HQ in scenic Bellevue, Washington. My name's Andy and I'm going to be your host today, and today we have the distinct opportunity to go ahead and show off some brand new stuff coming in Destiny 2 Into the Light. But fret not, I won't be the only one going ahead and telling you about it. I'm joined by 3 members of the Destiny development team who we'll go ahead and introduce here right away. Starting directly to my left, Mr. Tom Farnsworth, how are you doing today?
Great, thank you, Andy. I am doing great. I had coffee, breakfast on the way here. I'm a little ready to go. I'm excited to share.
I feel that.
All the great work the team has done the past many months. And just for context about me, I'm the creative lead on Into the Light, and I'll be here with you the next few weeks to talk about it.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff in store. And of course, we're joined by senior narrative designer, Mr. Jerome Viernich. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Also had coffee.
Nice.
On the highway.
Oh, yeah.
While screaming at passing cars.
Quite a drive in as well. And for the folks at home who may not know you as well as we've had the opportunity to learn about you over the past couple days, who are you and what do you do here at Bungie?
I am a senior narrative designer, which means if you hear a character say it, or if you read it on screen, one of us typed it into a tiny little box at some point months before.
Hanging out with Excel lots these days?
Absolutely.
There it is.
Tiny words, tiny boxes. That's me.
It's an important tool, obviously.
Absolutely.
And of course, last but very not least, one of the most deadly I've ever seen to rock the thumbsticks, especially in these past couple days, the one and only Mr. Noah Lee, activity designer here on Destiny 2.
Hey everyone, my name is Noah Lee. I'm an activity designer on Destiny 2 Into the Light. And I have the distinct pleasure of introducing us to Onslaught so we can see all the really cool things that we have in store. I'm a long-time player. I've been playing since Destiny 1, and as a player turned dev, I'm excited to show off all the stuff we have planned. I'm just so excited to see what's
awesome. Well, hey, welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. To everyone in chat, I see a lot of activity in there as well. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today as well. But yes, today we're going to go ahead and kick things off by looking at Onslaught, which is a brand new activity coming in Destiny 2 Into the Light. For those of you out there that are Twit enjoyers that have had a chance to go ahead and see what we've been posting the last week, we went ahead and released some key art last week that is now up on screen. You can see here. There's a lot going on here. So let's go ahead and just start. Tom, can you tell us a little bit about what Onslaught is?
Yeah, so Onslaught is a new 3-player activity that's kind of the core of Into the Light. It's available to all players.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see in this key art, like this is like a kind of aspirational view of what Onslaught is in game. Yeah. It's a new wave defense activity. It takes inspiration from a lot of modes we've looked at, like in other games and our games throughout our kind of history. And you can see here you're in the last city, and I'm really excited that our players are going to be able to, like, the Guardians are going to be able to hop into this space and defend the last city and eventually take the fight to the Witnesses' forces here. And you can kind of see you got our 3 Guardians. They're kind of ringed in defenses. Yeah. You also got like the pyramids in the sky.
Love the armor.
Right, yeah.
And there's even some like kind of pyramid terraforming going on in the background
in the city itself too, yeah.
Yeah,
they are at our
city,
doorstep.
And there's a few other locations too, but maybe we'll talk about later.
Talk about that later. Yeah. So also too, Jerome.
Okay, pausing on this image. When TWAB came out the last time, I did not quite catch all the pyramids in the sky, nor did I realize that there are pyramid parts on this planet. Like, where was I looking when I was looking at this picture? I did notice the turrets and all these little laser beams. And I also noticed the armor, because the armor looks really good. The glowy weapons, I don't know if they're meant to be glowy. Hopefully, because that'd be really cool.
Now, not the first time, obviously, we've ever had to go ahead and defend ourselves on our own turf, but never quite like this before. Our heels are dug in. We're in the last city right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on here?
Absolutely. So, for the past several seasons, the forces of the Witness have been closing their vice grip around the Sol system. The Witness is inside the Traveler doing nefarious deeds, enacting the final shape.
Right.
Time is on its side.
Yeah.
We have worked with ancient magics, esoteric rituals, bargaining with our old foes in order to send someone through the portal and establish a bridge, and we chose Crow.
Yeah.
Now, until he makes contact with us, we
I
are
remember
back
that.
at home sharpening our knives.
Yeah.
Now, the Witness, of course, will do everything that it can to keep us on this side of the portal.
Understandable.
Which means unleashing every bit of its resources, every part of its power against us to keep us pinned in the last city.
That
so
is
this is
awesome.
about breaking out
What?
and discovering new power,
Yeah.
right? Sharpening ourselves,
Yeah.
finalizing our builds, and getting some new toys so that we can face down the Witness.
That's right. And we're also getting some help.
That is
from a tried and
awesome. I
true
like that.
Sharpener of Guardians as well. Shax is going to be helping us out as well, right?
Absolutely. Where some see calamity, Shaq sees opportunity.
Yeah.
And he is going to be opening up his arsenal for us to enjoy. I think we'll hear about that next week, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, he'll be your vendor, and I'm really excited for players to hear from him.
Awesome. As someone who spends a lot of time in the Crucible, it's always good to spend more time with Shax. Inspirational, to say the least.
Absolutely, at high volume.
Yeah, honestly, it's the best part of him. You just throw more grenades.
Always.
Reminder to everyone.
Never go wrong.
May it be a hint to us all. And of course, Noah, there's a lot also too going on here. I see turrets, I see other activity defenses. Obviously, we're going to jump into some gameplay here, but before we do, can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see when we dive in to play some Onslaught here live in just a bit?
Yeah, of course. So something that's really cool about Onslaught compared to a lot of our activities in Destiny is, like Tom said, it's not an offensive, it's a defensive. Our goal is to defend the ADU, or Advanced Defense Unit, which allows us to build our defenses like turrets, tripwires, decoys, and the main goal is to make sure that that thing stays up for all of the waves that you're fighting in.
Tripwires?
Yeah.
And if that goes down at any point, regardless if you're on playlist, normal, or on legend difficulty, your game will end. So the main goal is to keep your defenses safe, build them up, upgrade them, and try to get as far as you can.
Yeah, legend difficulty. Interesting. Already dropping
This
some
is
hints.
giving
I
me
like what I'm hearing.
zombies
You know how to do it.
vibes.
And another thing, just really quickly,
Yeah,
is we
please.
had a lot of learnings from some of our activities in the seasons, like deep dives and the coil, where we know players like when we escalate difficulty over time.
Yeah.
So that's a key feature of Onslaught. You go from wave 1 to wave 50, each 10 escalating in difficulty, as we're going to see in gameplay. And that serves a really cool opportunity for players to test their builds and,
Yeah.
you know, the waves of enemies that we're fighting against are the whetstone by which we are sharpening ourselves.
Excellent. Yes, build crafters, you're on notice. Be prepared for what's to come. All right. Well, I say there's no time like the present. We are seeing a lot of requests in chat for gameplay. I think
Can
we'll
I
go ahead and
point
dive
out the
on in.
tiny weapon in the
Throw-
back?
Noah, would you mind returning to
It's
your
so
throne real briefly to go ahead
adorable.
and kick things off here?
My tithes.
Obviously, yeah, we got to get some tithes for the man himself. In the meantime, really quickly, obviously, with Onslaught being a brand new activity, we're going to kick things
Look at
off
the
in a very different
weapon.
way. Can you tell
It's
us a
so
little bit
tiny.
about what we're going to see when we go ahead and start things off?
Yeah, you're going to see it in the gameplay here in just a second, but Onslaught is about kind of establishing a defensive kind of like beachhead in these contested territories where we're like trying to, you know, claw space back from the Witness.
Certainly.
And we're going to see it in Midtown here in a moment. And so players, you know, start off with you and two other maybe friends you found that you play with all the time, or maybe
Yeah.
you matchmake you in with, and you're going to push forwards with Shax's Red Jacks that
Yeah.
you're going to see here. You'll establish a defensive area. You'll deploy the Advanced Defense Unit, and then you'll start placing defenses.
Yeah.
As Noah said, there's turrets, there's trip mines, there's
Yeah.
decoys.
Decoys.
The decoys is our favorite little sweepy
That's
bot.
right. Yep.
And
Back to help once again.
and you can upgrade those too. Like
Yeah.
the way the activity works is you defeat enemies to collect scrap,
Yeah.
which is our currency, and then you can spend that to deploy these defenses. And you're gonna have to be kind of selective. Like each of these defensive locations can move around throughout the activity.
Right. Yeah.
And here we go.
Awesome.
We already got
This is
some
gameplay
action
already.
here.
Yes.
So we're over here trying to create a foothold for our ADU, supported by Shax's lovely Red Jacks. You know, we know and love them.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as we've
Whoa,
cleared
that's
out
so
the
cool.
Elixni that are here, or the Fallen, our ADU's here. As we see, we got some batteries in
Whoa.
tow, and this begins our first really interesting part of this activity, which is our purchase phase. Killing enemies will grant you scrap, like we see in the top left, and we have 30 seconds to pick one of a suite of upgrades. We have tripwires that you can buy for 1,000, decoy, which is our lovely sweeper bot here, and turrets. I know people are very curious about turrets, so I'm just going to buy this
Yes.
first.
There we go.
But we
The
have
turret.
our lovely guests, Clayton and Ashley, who have helped create this activity in our playtest team. They're with me, helping fill out the fire team, and they're building their defenses.
It's always best to have some solid teammates, and also for the folks in chat noticing some weapons, go ahead and observe everything you can possibly see on screen. Oh, it's okay. We're gonna have plenty of time to dig through those inventory screens.
Midnight
but in the
Coop?
meantime,
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
chat
whoa,
is,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
connecting some dots.
Was
for
that
things they may
Midnight
have
Coop
seen in the key art.
1830?
But also too, So,
Excuse
Jerome,
me?
we're here obviously going ahead and
Did
doing
I
this
just see
for
that
a
right?
reason.
Okay, pause. Sir, am I seeing a midnight coupe with 1830 light level? First of all, is our light level increasing? Because the highest light level we currently have right now is 1810. And does that mean midnight coupe is coming back?
Right, the ADU is here for a purpose. Can you help us understand a little bit about the role that plays in the defense that we're mounting against the Witness?
Absolutely. When all of the Guardians and their allies enter the portal to face down the Witness, Earth will be essentially undefended.
How cool
So
is
it's
that
important that we
gameplay? Wait.
establish solid defenses now and claw back as much territory as we can in advance of our assault. I also want to just point out, I know we're not going to be able to look at it, and we'll see the weapons next week, but we've got some beautiful new lore on those weapons, and so any of those lore hounds, make sure you check out those tabs.
Yeah, it's we will be only maybe looking at whatever happens to show up in the stream today, but yes, this is the Brave Arsenal, as it will be known. Players will get a chance to go ahead and be more intrinsically involved with this. We'll have more information on that in the coming weeks, but yeah, for those out there that are observing maybe some previous Guardian favorite weapons out there, worry not. You'll have lots of information to learn over the next coming weeks.
But yeah, I want to kind of get started on kind of what players have been seeing since we've been talking about productivity as a whole. As we're able to see, like, the ADU has a health over its head right here, and we have enemies in waves coming to try to defeat it. If you've been paying attention, we have high-value targets that are mini-bosses or elites called saboteurs, which drop these repair batteries. And for other attempted players, we can see that there are champions involved. So, you know, bring your champion weapons. Make sure that you are well equipped for this. We have different waves and different augments like we're seeing on wave 3 that demand your immediate attention. We know Destiny players like to run and gun, so we try to get you out of the space of the ADU sometimes so that you can kind of do those objectives to make sure that, oh yeah, I can explore Midtown and all these other spaces when we have the other maps that you see.
Yeah, Crucible enjoyers know this space pretty well. It'll be a chance for everyone to go ahead and check it out.
Oh, wow.
But also,
Look
too,
at
actually,
how cool
thank you,
that
Noah, for checking that out.
looks. Oh, my gosh.
Obviously, the pyramids have been busy in here helping to go ahead
I
and
haven't even
mount this
noticed that
offensive.
yet.
Yeah, I have an eye for decoration.
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
so cool.
they're doing a great
It's
job. I gotta give them
Midtown, but
credit.
it's
They keep it
slightly, I guess,
consistent.
different
But Jerome,
looking.
these are pyramid ships in our own backyard that are going to go ahead and just try and terraform the city, or can you help us learn what's going on here?
Well, they don't have to do anything. I mean, the Witness is doing what it wants to do, and if we don't stop it, then it's game over. So they really just need to keep us pinned. The Witness is inevitable. There's no way we could defeat every one of the Witness's soldiers. There's no way we could, you know, fight them one by one.
We'll try.
We have to deal with the Witness head on inside the Traveler. And we'll do that soon.
So also too, you know, obviously getting to go ahead and send players away from the ADU is pretty significant when it comes to accomplishing all of the tasks in front of you here in Onslaught. But Tom, can you tell us a little bit about the defenses as well? Like, I think we see some trip mines up already set and ready to go.
Yeah, I see it.
You can see the horizontal beams. Those are trip mines. As you upgrade them, the colors will change. You'll be able to deal more damage and kind of fire off more
trip mines get more charges. And they get more in size. If you upgrade it, you'll go from 1 trip mine to 2, as we see here, which is really nice. Tom can keep going.
And then we've also got the turrets. Noah, if you could show off a turret in a second.
Oh yeah.
Those as well. When you can upgrade those three levels as well. They change color. They deal more damage. They get more health.
Yeah.
The fire rate increases actually. Also.
Yep. And then we've also got Sweepy Bot, who also those decoys mostly just gain health and change color a little bit. But the idea here is like each of these defensive locations, we're going to kind of randomly pick the defenses for you to deploy, and it's up to you kind of to make the best choices and use your limited resources, the scrap that you're collecting, to make the best choices there, because you're not going to have all the currency you need right off the bat to, like, you know, of course, deploy everything and upgrade everything. You're going to have to be like, no, maybe we want this turret, or maybe it seems like enemies are coming more from this direction. Maybe we should have these trip mines.
Right, yeah. Let's focus our attention and abilities maybe in a different direction. Let the trip mines and turrets do some work in a different direction.
Yeah. Something I want to bring up is we actually have a bonus objective going on right now. We have secondary objectives that occasionally appear in waves, and this one is just to complete the wave within a certain amount of time. And if you complete that,
I see it on the
while
left
you're
side
defending the ADU,
bonus.
you gotta make sure that's alive. You'll actually get a reward, which is a heavy ammo crate that will refill your ammo. When you get higher up in the waves and you get more difficult enemies and like larger waves of stuff, like that is definitely something you're going to be trying to get. And that kind of ties into the team coordination you can do. Like if you have a good team in the higher difficulties, you're going to need a little bit more coordination. You might need somebody to go out and do the augments and somebody to go out and do the critical objectives.
Yeah, and also too, so just to make sure, Tom, as well, this isn't the only ADU we're going to be defending in this activity. It moves around.
This makes me wonder, like, how long do the turrets last? Or, like, how long do the trip mines last before they go out? Or do they even go out? Is this going to be, like, a constant, they're going to be on for the entire wave? I doubt it. I'm going to assume that, like, they only have this much power to, like, kill this many ads and stuff. So I do wonder if, or, like, how long that stuff lasts. Because it does seem like you upgrade them per wave-ish, or it seems like, do they break? I don't think I caught that. Passing on the video, if you could like and subscribe on the video, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment. It would help out a lot, especially with the algorithm, and I'd really appreciate it, so thank you very much.
In this activity, it moves around the map.
So as Noah said earlier, there's 50 waves in our
There's
challenge
50
version of this
waves?
activity.
Okay.
No way.
So, there's the playlist version, which is just one location. It's
What?
easy, quick, fun to hop into. You do 10 waves and you're done. And then there's the challenge version, which we're showing here. So there's 50 waves or 5 sets of 10 waves, is how we like to talk about it. And with each of those sets of waves, we move around the map between 3 different locations.
Okay.
Okay,
And
cool.
so you'll start at one ADU, you'll defend it, you'll take the fight to the witness for a little bit, you'll come back, and then you'll build up defenses more, and then
Heck
go
yeah.
find a boss.
Yeah, which is what we're seeing as well right now. Like, we're on board a pyramid ship now, right?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite phases, where instead of defending the ADU, we take the fight to them, and as you see, we cultivate a spark of light, and it's time to run it down, destroy the witnesses' lieutenants, and do a fun backflip. Let's hope I can pull that off.
Do the backflip.
It's important. If you don't do the backflip, chat's going to be very upset. I can already tell.
Very.
Here we go.
Look at that.
Here we go.
A backflip.
You make it look so easy. No,
I'm just good.
he is good.
That was
He's
good.
doing pretty well.
Wait, I actually really
Not
enjoy
that we're
being
also
in
on
the
the
pyramid.
first
That's so
set of
cool.
waves.
It's going to get a little spicier later. The
Yeah.
first few waves are kind of like the training wheels.
Right, yeah. Because you were saying,
50
too, there's
waves.
a 10-wave version of this and a 50, was it?
Yes, there's a 10-wave version
That's
called
right.
Onslaught Playlist.
Okay.
If you're in for, you want to be in for a short session, I think that's definitely the place for you. Onslaught, in our experience from playtesting, is really easy to lose track of time and just kind of keep going. You can always be like, just one more wave, a few more sets, and then you're like, dang, it's been an hour. Like, it's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
got a question, if you don't mind. How do you decide whether to unlock new defenses or upgrade the ones you've already got?
So it really is a risk-reward thing. As we're seeing, like, when you upgrade defenses, they will exponentially increase in price, which means that you have to make a decision every purchase phase, like, do I want to save my money to potentially upgrade something down the line and also hope that that defense, lives long enough to be upgraded? Or am I just going to bite the bullet and buy something now that can help me immediately? My strategy usually is that in the first few waves, I will not buy anything to just save up for later, and usually my teammates will do something.
Yeah.
That's where communication comes in. If you
Yeah,
just
let the
do
teammates do
that
stuff.
by yourself, I don't think your teammates will be very happy with you.
It's fair. As always, keeping the comms crisp is very important, especially as you get those higher difficulty levels. Because, we're just in the kind of the fledgling waves of this right now. But, when we were doing our playtest yesterday, things got crazy in a hurry. I hope we get to see some more of the craziness we saw yesterday. But I don't want to spoil anything for chat. Obviously, there's plenty to be discovered in this.
Something I neglected to mention, which we've been doing this whole time, is the ADU batteries will actually heal it, kind of similar to like Forges in the Black Armory from my real vets out there. And the ADU, the enemies are naturally compelled to come over here and attack it. They'll shoot it, they'll knife at it. But also, if there's any enemies that stay in the radius of the ADU, you'll see it'll turn red and damage will start to tick. So that's when you need to throw your ADU batteries in there and you'll get scrap for that. But if your ADU's full on health, you'll actually get 3 times the amount of scrap. So it's in your best interest to try to keep it as healthy as possible because you might be able to snowball your
So
defenses.
scrap is the
Interesting.
currency to
especially if you're
buy
really pushing
turrets
for
and
those
everything.
later levels and the 40s and 50s. Maybe it just behooves you to hold on. For the
Oh, yeah, and
levels
the
are so let your abilities and weapons do the talking for a little bit.
Yeah.
These are no joke.
Can I just say, for anyone that hangs out in my streams, I can already see me doing this a lot with anyone. We'll probably do some raffles because I honestly think this looks pretty fun.
And
Give some credit in making it look easy as well.
I like I said, I'm just that guy.
He's been preparing for this moment. Also, too, actually, let's talk a little bit of build crafting. What are you running right now, Noah?
So I'm not treading new ground here. I'm a Night Stalker by heart. I got my Gerfalcons on. We actually, off screen, we're figuring out how it's pronounced. But Gerfalcons, everyone, so anyone who mispronounces it, that's how you say it. Doing that, I love Buried Bloodline. It's a great weapon from Warlord's Ruin. I love the Catalyst. And, I'm just doing that because we might see some Tormentors, who knows? And I like precision
Tormentors
when we're doing that because, rockets aren't very effective against
See, over the past day or so, as we've been
That's a
getting prepared for
hint.
the stream, I'll admit my jealousy for Buried Bloodline has only been growing. I'm a big fan of Graviton Lance. We get along very well. But I got to say, the precision that you've been getting out of Buried Bloodline makes me upset that I haven't just gone ahead and buckled down and gotten the farming done to get that thing unlocked, honestly.
Yeah, great. So as we see, we are actually in the pyramid again for the boss. We're taking the fight back to the Witness's forces. And this brings up a really interesting part of all of the boss phases where instead of having immune shields or immune phases, we have different augmentations that allow you to increase your effectiveness against the boss. So for example, this one is Augmentation Well. If you stand in these wells and defeat high value targets, you will actually deal increased damage to the boss for the rest of the fight. That's something, because these are meant to be kind of like victory laps, like you've survived against the ADU, it is time to just, single-mindedly take down the boss.
Yeah. Interesting. Also, too, actually, really quickly, Tom, so I know we touched
I
on
wonder,
there
does
being
this give
10
loot
and
every
50 wave
round?
versions, but
I wonder, does this like give ammo? I'm wondering if this gives loot every I'm assuming not every wave from what I've seen, but extra loot at the end. I don't know how the loot system works. I guess we'll find out.
we got a question in chat from Tirkinator. Is it random matchmaking? Do you get to bring your own fire team in? Both?
Good question.
So playlist is random matchmaking, or you can bring your fire team in.
Yeah.
And then I believe the challenge modes, of which there was a normal version and like a hard version, which goes up to GM. I believe that the normal version.
I was just
is
talking about it.
match-made.
Oh my gosh.
We can correct on social
Chest.
maybe for the second one. I don't think it's match made, but
I didn't
think
see any
everything
loot,
supports
though.
fire team fighting.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
probably
obviously.
because
and honestly, too, it never hurts
that would be
to bring in
spoilers,
your
right?
own GM crew if you're pushing 50 waves.
No, we definitely want you to communicate
Yeah.
in that activity on the upper end, especially. You're going to have a much better time.
Yeah, honestly. Also, too, actually, while we're kind of on that subject, I remember something you mentioned earlier was, kind of one of the goals, I think, from a
it's a
design
different
standpoint you were
area.
mentioning was that it's kind of just easy to get lost in this activity. The combat sandbox that Destiny has, sometimes you just want to throw down and just test new builds, go crazy, and this is something that really seems to facilitate that.
You might even feel it on the stream here as we're going to go deeper and deeper here. Like we've defeated the first set now, we're on the second set.
I can already think of oh my gosh, sun bracers, for example, would be so cool. Storan builds, like the Beyblade, things like that, where you can get a bunch of builds together and just go all out with abilities and everything. I think that'd be so fun.
We're at a new defensive location you can see here. That's near the river walk in here, and
We're going to break the fourth wall. We're developers, so we were able to change it to our other faction. It's not always going to be Fallen. We have the hive that we're shown prominently in our poster art.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for the more keen eyes at home, they may have noticed that behind the scenes, the faction has changed. So when Jerome mentioned it earlier, every single one of the armies at the Witness's behest is going to go ahead and be a part of this fight potentially. Or which ones are they, rather? Or if you don't mind me asking, I should say, Jerome. This is your.
Yeah, we've got Fallen and Hive are going to be pressing the last city, but the Taken are definitely active elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're sort of
Nice.
They're being marshaled for other purposes,
Interesting.
which I won't.
Other elements of the seasonal story are yet to be revealed. We'll let that obviously uncover itself as time goes on naturally.
What
There's plenty for the lore hounds out there to go ahead and discover. Jerome, when you're putting together a story like this, obviously kind of helping us realize what the Witness's mission is, what was kind of some of your inspiration as you kind of looked at this activity and the opportunity it presented to the narrative team?
We always start with the characters, like the emotions of the characters, from their perspective, how they would see things, how they would react.
Certainly.
And so that's what made Shaxx a natural fit for this. It's such a gear-focused activity. It's so ferocious. We needed a voice that matched that
Yeah,
level
the
of
one
intensity.
kill.
Yeah.
Wait, is
And
this
so
wave
that's where we,
13 already?
Where we came
Wow.
up with Shax.
Yeah, Shex is like the perfect hype man.
Honestly.
I
That's
can't
right.
wait to see what it looks like
It's
at
so
50.
great when you get later in the rounds, and he just kind of makes you feel like you can keep going.
I mean, that's his goal, right? The Crucible is not a forgiving place, and he's there bringing folks in.
Fighting a war.
Yeah, honestly, this is what we've been sharpening ourselves for. You know, this is that moment. Also, too, kind of in that theme, we got a question from Cozy Spartan in chat. Are there any other weapons that are coming back? As a quick reminder, this is the first of actually three streams as well. So next week we're going to be talking about that. So make sure and mark your calendar and tune in then. Today, this is
so
just a
no
taste
weapon
of Onslaught and kind of
information
a first
yet.
look at what's to come in the brand new activity. Joining us with Destiny 2. And
So
some
today
light.
is just about the
Buddy, I'm
activity.
broke.
Good to know.
All out of scrap already?
Yes. I bought
From low orbit and
That
just
happens
smashes it into bits.
Yeah.
It's been known to happen. Who knows?
Now, in that instance, if one of your defenses is destroyed, do you repurchase it at level 1?
Yes, you
Yes, you have to
lose that.
repurchase the
that-
level.
that
wow.
progress.
Yeah.
And that's one of the
Oh,
things you
that
have to
answers
watch
the
out for with
question.
trip mines. You know, like I said, they have charges, and they will just, they will go out on their own. But that's why they're so cheap. You're going to have to rebuy them once you run out of charges.
Yeah, and also I think I saw a question in chat. I missed the name, so apologies to whoever asked this. Is scrap individual or is it fire team wide?
So we've got an interesting way of doing it. So the fire team earns scrap together, but you each get to spend individually.
Oh,
So,
cool.
so you can't mess up your fire team mates by like overspending. You've got your own little
Yeah.
stock, your own little wallet,
Yeah.
purse of scrap to spend. So you can coordinate if you want, or you could just spend how you see fit to help the team.
Yeah.
In general, like anything you purchase is
Who said we're helping our teammates? No, that answers my question. So like all of the tools like the turret, the trip mine, stuff like that, they all go out on their own, so then you'd have to rebuy it after like a wave. And they also just explain how scrap works, and that basically means that it's kind of like individually. So when you are spending scrap, your teammates have their own and you're not spending theirs. So they can spend whatever they want, you can spend whatever you want. Can I just say that it actually is really cool? It gives out a very different variety of the gameplay when you have the different type of enemies that are supposed to come up. They mention how you can have a combo of ogres and explodey thralls, and then like a combo of like the big shanks and other enemies and things like that. And I think that's really cool. It gives you a different gameplay feeling every so often just because of the enemy type.
Actually, JR Bizzle in chat asks, are the rewards going to be tied to the wave you get too? Now, I know Noah kind of mentioned this a little bit when he was referencing the coil earlier, but obviously there's between the level 10, or pardon me, the 10 wave and the 50 wave versions, what's the reward story for each one?
So in all the activities,
Question.
every time you beat 10 waves and you beat the boss, you'll get a chest. You'll
Okay.
get rewards.
So every 10 waves,
Yep.
you get, okay.
And then in the challenge mode, there's a normal and the hard version of those. In the normal version, you get a normal chest all the way until the last wave. You can beat the final wave.
Yeah.
You'll get double rewards.
Oh, okay.
And then if you play the hard mode,
Yeah.
you get additional rewards in all the waves.
Excellent. Okay.
And so like,
Additional
there's some
rewards in
little
all
surprises
the
there, too, we might
ways?
have along the
No
way,
way.
at the end as
I
well.
wonder how
Just if you're
hard
lucky.
Excellent.
hard
Yeah, for the
mode
ones that are
is.
really going to go ahead and try it a few times out. Maybe there's an additional variable thrown in there from time to time. Excellent. Actually, Kurt Jones, 29, asks, how do revives work in this activity, both between normal and legend?
So that's actually a great question. As we see now, there is not. Oh my good lord! Wait, give me a
Go.
second. Give me a second.
What a great time to think critically. The Tormentor
Oh
on
my
your
god,
doorstep.
that
I can answer
Tormentor
that
is
for
giant.
No, take down the Tormentor. The way
Oh,
that revives work is like in the first 2 sets,
Yeah.
darkness is off. But when we get to the 3rd set, we
Yeah.
turn darkness on.
And
so
extinguish.
if you all go down, or the ADU goes down, the activity's over.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just take the rewards you got for
Nuh-uh.
the 2
And in
awesome-
legend,
you got-
that's on by default.
Yeah, you don't lose any rewards. Every set you complete, you'll get rewards.
Yeah.
But if you're halfway through a set and you fail,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it. Just take your lunch
You get
box
put
and go
back
home.
to
Or you can
orbit?
hop right back in the
No
playlist.
way.
Hop right back in with your friends and
Yeah.
try again.
Which is what I'm going to do, frankly,
Yeah.
honestly. Like
Hell
when
yeah.
this was getting developed behind the scenes here, and as we were kind of getting a sense of what Into the Light was going to be, I got to tell you, like just the I don't know, the ability to just go ahead and keep diving back in, testing new builds. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has every like right there. You see it.
Whoa.
Oh, all right.
I got alt tab a little.
Oh, I'll tab.
I'll tap.
Likes.
Okay, all right.
Technical
I was
difficulty.
about to say- I was
Oh,
about to
alt
say-
tab again.
I was like,
This
as
is
it
that
turns
building
out,
scene
yep,
behind
everyone.
the screen.
Yep. Also, too,
Oh no, got
just
so
for everyone's
worried.
awareness too, we're here live in the dev environment. So what you're seeing is obviously a quick peek behind the scenes. But quick reminder again, we'll be back next week at the same Bungie time, same Bungie place to show you some even more content about Into the Light, including some returning Guardian favorite weapons, which you may have gotten a glimpse of today, a brand new look at an all new social space as well that you can take your fire team down to, and even more information about upcoming rewards. Before we obviously send it off, I want to again thank our guests here for joining us today, to the entire Destiny development team who behind the scenes right now is working on this content, bringing it to life for all of us. Thank you all so much for your hard work. To Clayton and Ashley, our play testers in the back who went ahead and helped fill out the fire team. Getting some waves, there we go. Thank you very much. To the amazing team of producers who are here putting on the show, thank you all so much. Genuinely, it's amazing to have all of your assistants. They have the distinct difficulty of making me look good on camera, so believe me, their work is cut out for them. And to our team of moderators in chat, you're the real heroes. Thank you so much for your time. But in the meantime, again, reminder, we'll be back next week at the same time and place to show you even more content. But until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see y'all Starside.
Let's go! Who's excited? So, what does everybody think of Onslaught? Now, this is the first stream of 3, and the next time we're supposed to learn more about rewards and weapons and things like that are supposedly coming back. I can't wait to see what the other streams have to offer. So far, I think Onslaught is looking very fun. I can see myself playing it a ton, and I hope you guys can too. I think I'll be doing quite a lot of raffles in my stream, and we'll have a ton of fun with some difficulties and setting up traps. Now, they did give us a sneak peek of Midnight Coup, and the light level was very questionable that we got to see, so I can't wait to hear more about that. So far, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching and coming in on the very first review or inside of Into the Light, and I'll probably see you for the next 2 Tuesdays.